software defects costs worldwide economy more than $1 trillion.
Okay guys, we can't do that release, it's going to blow up there.
Quality assurance is like insurance for your application.
Write the test cases, write automation things, checking the security.
The role of quality assurance engineer is to save this money for business.
Hello guys, so today we have the new topic for our discussion, and today we're going to talk about the quality assurance. So what it is, do you actually need it? And now the short spoiler, yes you do. And why you need it, which is more important. And today in our studio we have Taras. He is the Chief Quality Assurance Engineer in LinkUp Studio. He have 8 years of experience in this field. And Taras, please tell us what it's all about, what is quality assurance is, and why people actually need it. Like, what is your main responsibility when you're doing your job?
Hello Andriy, hello guys. So I know very interesting statistic about it, and it can be like a good answer for your question. So in 2016, software defects costs worldwide economy more than $1 trillion.
Oh man.
And I think a role of quality assurance engineer is to save this money for business.
Okay, I believe this is the most proper answer that can it be. Okay, so like exactly, like when you're doing your job daily, day after day, what actually your main responsibility? Like what tasks QA have on the daily basis?
So our QA team has a lot of responsibilities, and for example, we need to analyze and review documentation, project documentation. Also, we need to create own test documentation like test cases, addressability matrix to show product owner what is test coverage. Also, we need to perform manual and automated testing. Also, we need to design, develop, and maintain automation scripts like API and UI, and check our platform, check and find weaknesses of our platform using performance testing and many services.
Okay, hold on a second. That sounds like a lot of stuff that happening, right? And I mean, usually people thinking that quality assurance, like testers, in case we use different word, they just, clicking things through. It's like you open, I don't know, whatever, website or app and just click the buttons and see where is an errors. I mean, I believe a lot of people think that the best work in the world is being the quality assurance engineer in the, gaming industry. So you do nothing except playing the game all of the day. So like, and what you are telling, it feels like there are a lot of, very focused, very concentrated job. I mean the job that require a lot of concentration, and it's just not so easy. So like, can you tell, is that assumption that 80% of your job is just clicking through things, is it right or no?
So correct. Maybe when I was a child, I also wanted to be a game tester, and maybe now it's can be very good experience for me, but I don't want to play one game all my life. And so about your answer, a few days ago I read interesting article about it, and in this case we can compare real life and software development. And in real life, modern people like to buy some insurance for medical insurance, for car, for flat, for travel, and quality assurance is like insurance for your application. It's a very good example, and a lot of people think that quality assurance is like a click on the button, and guys who click every day 1 million times on different elements, that's all. It's not correct. You need to remember that only people who works like QA engineer in your project, it's guys who looks for bugs, it's only 30% of all the time.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, let me just restate what I understood from you. You're telling that only 30% of job that actual customers and product owners see is like they see only 30% of the actual of QA job. So like the clicking through that what everyone think about is just the peak of the iceberg, right?
Yes, correct.
You can't. I understood. So okay, that's clear. So quality assurance is the good, I believe. Quality assurance is not someone who just clicking things through, but I mean, so what they are doing, like what are the main, like what kind of testing except exist at all?
Okay, so there are a lot of testing level and types, and if you talk about levels, we know about unit, integration, system, and acceptance, for example. But when we talk about types of testing, we need to remember that we have hundreds of types, and for example, manual and automated. We need to remember about penetration, security, about performance testing that include load, volume, stress testing. It can be regression and confirmation testing, also sanity and smoke testing. So we need to know how we can use it correctly, not just know 100 types of testing theoretically.
Okay, hold on a second. You just mentioned like how did you tell it?
Penetration.
Penetration. Okay, like small. I mean that's a lot of stuff. And are you really doing all of these on every single project? I mean it sounds like every project, like 80% supposed to be testing in case you do all of that. I mean, is it true? That's how it's working?
Of course, we should not execute all types of each project. Of course, we won't execute penetration or performance testing for simple startups that know a lot of difficult feature. And for example, imagine that we develop some projects during 3 or 5 months, and in this case, I'm not sure that we need to add automation scripts and spend a lot of customer money and our time, because the cost is big in this case, and it is not a good idea.
I understand. So basically you as the and because you are the chief quality assurance engineer, I may assume that for each kind of project, like it can be like the running business or it can be startups, you decided what actually the best type of testing, what technique you need to use in order to use customer money in the more efficient way, right?
Yes, of course it depends on project. It depends on goal of this project. And for example, we had really good real estate application, and in this case, user who wants to add some house to this platform, he need to add a lot of information, attach some documents, and add pictures and something like that. And in this case, we decided to add automation scripts. I think it's very useful to click one button run and not click manually this. And for example, another example, it's right now we have few big projects, and this project expects a lot of user in this platform. And for example, we need to check what is the situation when many people go to the application in the same time. We need to know what are the weaknesses of our platform.
So basically you, as far as understood, for some project with the for example, the big volumes of user that we probably expected, you are doing the scripts that emulate lots of people on the platform,
yes,
right?
A lot of requests,
And I believe in case we're talking about some like small website which don't expect this, you just don't do it.
Of course, yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I have in my practice I had a lot of situation where people they like the customers, the product owners, they usually tell, okay, I will test my product by my own. Like I don't need the QA engineer. Let's don't spend any money on this at all. So how do you think, is it good or bad practice? Is it possible? How much you can involve, or like what do you think about when the product owner, when the customer refuse from testing at all?
Unfortunately, there are many situations when product owners don't want to add quality assurance engineer to project, and it's a very bad idea because quality assurance is like a process, and the product owner often says, okay, we have our application like in production mode after release, and I test it and find a lot of bugs, and so guys, we need to fix it ASAP. And we need to understand that in this case, when we find a lot of defects on production, it can be very expensive to fix it. And for example, when we want to, when we found bug on design or requirements, it's very cheap to fix it, but after release, it's very expensive. So, and we need to know that when product owner wants to add quality assurance on production stage after release, he can be ready to wait up 100 longer that when we add quality assurance at the beginning of the project.
You telling about this so confident that sounds like 100 is just not abstract number.
Yes.
It's literally 100 times more.
Approximately.
Okay, so guys, I mean, I believe that was just very extremely important thing. First of all, what you just heard, that quality assurance starting their job, I mean, in the right process, I believe, at the very beginning, as Taras just told, on the requirement stage. So technically you can find the bug on the requirement stage. That's very interesting. And fixing it there cost you like literally 100 times, and time is always money, right?
Yes.
Literally 100 times less. Okay, that's just enormous amount of money and time, I believe. Okay, good. But I mean, that means that you don't even give a chance to the customer to help you in testing. I mean, does they not involve at all?
No any problem with this. Our product owner can be added to our Jira and see all the process and communicate with us. It's very good practice. It's very useful when we share our experience, or product owner share his experience to us, and we work like a team. It's very good position.
Understood. So the product owner still can involve the process.
Yes, of course.
So I as far as I understood, that means that you kind of set up the process in which each of the team member, including the product owner, just have it on place, instead of like eliminate the process completely, like some of people think that it will save money. So I believe that just don't save money. It just, actually, especially remember your case about 100 times. It's actually, it's saving money when you invest into the quality assurance instead of doing it yourself. Good. So another very big stereotype that I would like to discuss with you. Usually, there are that again stereotype that quality assurance engineer they're supposed to be like cheaper than developers in terms of salary, or actually in terms of salary. Is it true? I mean, is it supposed to be like that? Does quality assurance engineer do easier job or less important than developers, or like what is your thought about that?
So no, I think quality assurance cannot be cheaper, but we need to understand difference between test engineer, who is guy who has only test cases, list of some checks, and just mark passed or failed. And of course, maybe this guy can be cheaper. But when we talked about quality assurance process, and we need to understand the engineer should review documentation, design some test cases for manually, for automation testing, and then support it and think about some risks of the project and learn business of this project. And of course, we have different type of testing automation, and this automation quality assurance also, this guy also write codes and like developers is the same. And for example, we have very cool sphere like security testing is so difficult and it cannot be cheaper than development.
So you're actually telling that so there are, I understood, there are like two types of people: someone who just go through the prepared I don't know, bug tests.
Just click on the button.
Those who click, so that's mean that people just believe that all these guys, they are all of quality assurance engineer, and actually the real quality assurance engineer is those who write in the code, the test development code, right?
I like to separate it. For example, test engineer who only check using some list of checks, and quality assurance, really good process.
Okay, I got it. Thank you for this clarification. So another good question. Usually in the right process, when you're using, like for example, test-driven development, as we do in LinkUp, right? There are the things that called unit testing. So that's the special tests that are written, like for those who don't understand, unit testing is the special test that is written by developers even before they write it in the code, right?
Yes.
And there are also automation testing, which is performed by QA. So Taras, can you please explain to everyone what is the difference between unit testing that developers do and what is the difference between automation testing that quality assurance engineering do? Because I mean, does one thing can substitute another one? Is it possible to, I don't know, again, save money on QA? Like, how does it work? Like, why it's possible and why it's impossible in case it is?
So, okay, we can Google some pyramid of testing, and it's a very good answer for your question. So, in general, in most cases, unit tests. Developers should write this test, and it's very useful for show how to what is test coverage of their code. So the next level is integration API, for example, testing. We need to check how works our API part and check all requests. Write scripts for check a lot of situation, a lot of scenario for API. And the next level is user interface testing. This type of testing is not the same stable like previous two, but because front-end part maybe have a lot of changes, and often product owner want to change front-end. And we need to support it and change and fix our UI tests. But it's very useful to see the result, how our UI part works.
Okay, hold on a second. So you're telling that even the visual things that usually everyone think require like human to go through, even that part can be automated?
Yes.
Wow, okay. I didn't know about that, to be honest, really. So I know that in the LinkUp, like quality assurance team is independent from the development teams. It's very unusual structure because usually like quality assurance, they are like, I mean, I believe you work as the one team, but again have that kind of independency. Could you explain more what that independency actually mean? I mean, and why you organize that the structure of the team in that way? Why quality assurance is like separate? Okay, independence is the better word, obviously, but still, why it's like that?
So correct. Our QA team works like a separate team, and but it doesn't mean that we don't communicate with other departments. And of course, we have own process and we improve this process, but it depends on what is the product stage and what is right now what is process on our project. It depends how often we communicate with other departments. For example, BA, design, development, or DevOps, for example. That's all.
So that sounds like you are like, well, okay, that will be that strange word, but you are like quality assurance that developers. I mean, I believe they're afraid of you. I mean, in some sense, right? Like
maybe
they're afraid that you will find the bugs because you control them in the sense of quality.
Of course,
right?
we need to control the quality of our project, and there is a main goal of QA team.
So like deliver the quality. Okay, well that's make the sense that's why it's called QA. So like, do you have any, I don't know, some interesting case in your practices that, you know, QA saved the day, like Bruce Willis on his movie, you know?
Okay. As you know, I worked on a lot of our projects, and I want to say that it's very cool when we execute a lot of stress testing and find some weaknesses of our platform, and it can helpful for developers to fix it and see the result. And it's very helpful to write automated testing script and don't spend, for example, 1 day for regression testing. We can do it automatically, only click on run button or run this test automatically after some deploy. It's very cool.
So basically you like, if there was the situation when you have the big release and in the last moment you just run your scripts and you realize, okay guys, we can't do that release, it's going to blow up there.
Yes, few minutes or seconds we can see the result.
So and like, what do you do in that kind of situation? Do you postpone the release or do you like fix it immediately? And
we need to understand what is the problem and prioritize the bugs, and blocker or critical bugs we should fix ASAP.
So I got the point. So basically, in case you would not have this magic script, that means that bug would go to the production. And how hard to find such kind of the problem when you're already on the production? I mean, is it usual that everyone see, or is it possible that system exists with the bug for years and no one recognized that and business losing money because of that?
So before our project, we need to understand what's the main goal of our project and set some test cases and prioritize it. And we need to choose what of these test cases we need to use for regression testing. And of course, we can miss some important part, but in this situation, we should improve our scripts and add new checks and add new scenarios for that.
For the running. Okay, and I believe the last question for today. So lots of people, not only in Ukraine but all over the world, they are thinking that quality assurance is the easiest point of entrance into the software development area. So is it true? Like, what do you think the right way of if you want to become the quality assurance engineer? What is the right way? What is the right path?
So if you talk about courses,
yeah, basically,
yes, it's very big problem. I think not only in Ukraine, and other countries, but because I have some discussion with guys from another companies and from another countries, and we have on the market a lot of QA courses, and but many of them is without some vision, without some goals. It just invites students to our course and gets a lot of money for this.
In real life, I believe that just doesn't work like that, right?
Yes. So some interviews for teacher, some checks for students, no testing application is very strange. You go to the courses, but no application for testing. And I think students who want to visit these courses, they need to need to choose right courses, and not just we have a teacher who have a lot of experience but
no plan,
no vision, and no some testing application. It's just theoretically information without some practice.
I understood. So, well, yeah, that sounds like very obvious that, quality assurance engineer need to have a plan.
Yes.
Like always need to have a plan.
Always, yes.
Okay, guys, so let's resume for today. So what I understood. So first of all, that QA is not someone who just click and think through. It's someone who like write the test cases, write automation things, checking the security, checking the loading of system. Like Taras, what else? What else are you doing? Because you told a lot of things, and I just named 4.
I think many services we can propose.
Okay, that depend. I understood. So also if you want to do your application and software properly, you need to be the part of the team, of the whole team, and also the quality assurance team, because otherwise, you will just got unquality product and that's it. And the last one, it's not so easy to become the QA engineer, and you at least need to have the desire, and you always need to have the plan. So Taras is the guy with the plan. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And let's speak next time. Bye.
Bye.